athletes, they went into the games, without having a proper test, and 10 of our athletes, were being banned. Yes, the sport ministry, they're trying to prevent such kind of thing to happen again, but they didn't do it, the right way. They would have called, these athletes and then have a proper, because the issue was a test at this time around. Have a proper test, before going into this one, so that they will be sure of the health status of these athletes, before the World Athletics Championship. Just like you mentioned, the issue of fear. Yes, the sport ministry do not want for Nigeria to always be on that doping case. Whenever we go down for events like this, fine and good, but they would have done the needful to make sure that these athletes, they were very much ready, ahead of for the World Athletics Championship. We talk about Izine, she has to switch, nationality, to Nigeria. You never can tell how much money she spent, to do that, to make sure she come represent Nigeria. And now it's been called short. Just like I was following through the post, she made on Instagram. She said she received a message, 40 minutes when she wanted to board a plane, to the United States of America for the World Athletics Championship. There was a message from the sport ministry that she won't be able to participate due to out of competition tests, and all that. I think that is a very unfortunate event for her at this point in time, and that she feels so disappointed, to feel so neglected, at this point. So I think for me, the sport ministry, they've not really done their part very well. Talking about preparation ahead of for the World Athletics Championship, letting these two athletes down after putting up a very nice performance in the trial down there in Benin, and getting very much prepared to also showcase what they have, in the World Athletics Championship. It's very, 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 very disappointing. I think this is what we've been clamoring about. You take a look at what happened in the African Athletics Championship in Mauritius. This is the same thing that happened. We're having traveling issues. Senegal couldn't participate and all that, and poor preparation has always been our problem, and I think this is just as a result of poor preparation, and that's what we'll be seeing the likes of Izine and also Akintola participating in this one. It's so unfortunate.
Izine, no doubt, like I mentioned to you, is one of Nigeria's fastest in the 100 meters event. In fact, she represented the European nation, Norway, and of course she's had fastest victories in 13 races, leading up to this one. So it's really, really sad. She did everything to represent Nigeria. She wants to represent Nigeria. She's a Nigerian, and it turned out that Nigeria has let her down in awards at the time she needs Nigeria most, and the same thing has happened to Akintola as well. He's looking very, very sad. He is no doubt the NCC is fastest in the 100 meters event, and 200 meters as well. He's been listed as well for the 4x100 meters event. So it looked like something is really amiss. They are alleging politics as a reason why they have been dropped, but that is subject to investigation. All entries to getting at response from the sports minister Sunday Dare had been turned down, and we just hope that they know exactly what they are doing. But these Nigerian athletes are very dissatisfied. But away from these very dissatisfied ones, let's look at the arrangement. The 24 Nigerian athletes should have arrived at the Games Village in Eugene, Oregon as we speak, because of time zone differences. But some officials of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria are still in Abuja.
Yeah, some of them are still in Abuja, and I think before, by this time, they should have been there in United States of America already to make sure they look out for the welfare for this athlete already. By this time, they are not there. I think that is not a very good preparation. I heard from the president of the Athletics Federation, Tinubu Kokoa. He said he's going to meet with the secretary for them to put up plans, of getting there. We heard probably maybe by tomorrow they will be getting down, to United States of America. But I think for me, it's not a good timing. They should have been there on ground already to receive the athletes and make sure everything is in place. So just like we heard as well, some of the athletes are already there in United States of America, and some also are bound, to getting down there. So for me, I think preparation should always be the key for any championship that Nigeria will participate in. And if we don't put this right, at some point it will be difficult for me to always get the right results, when it comes to championship like this.
39-year-old World Athletics Championship, which is into its 18th edition, gets underway on Friday. It runs till the 24th of July. Let's look at Nigerian medal hope amongst these 24 athletes that will be representing the country at the 18th edition of the World Athletics Championship. Everybody is looking at the direction of Brume. Brume's leap this year has a personal leap of 6.85 meters. He is the only one she's the only one that the country is looking up to winning a medal, understandably, because in the last edition that took place in Doha, Qatar, she won the only medal for Nigeria. The only bronze medal Nigeria got at that event was courtesy of Ezebrume's leap. Do you see Ezebrume, getting at it again, given that her qualifying time is less than what she used in winning in 2019?
Yes, for me, I think is a thing. She's been good, in the long jump so far. She's been very incredible. But to take a look at her last outing after the Benin trial, in Stockholm, she didn't do very well, at the Diamond League in Stockholm. But we hope she can be able to get up, from that particular loss to make sure she put up a very good performance this time around in the World Athletics Championship. She's been in this terrain. It's not a new place for her. It's not a very new championship for her. She's done it before here. So I think she can probably, get into that spirit of doing it very well when it comes to a championship like this, and also come up very, very strongly. We've seen Ezebrume. She's done very well for herself, despite the fact that yes, she couldn't participate in the African athletics championship in Mauritius, where she couldn't participate due to passport issue. That was also as a result of poor preparation by the Athletic Federation of Nigeria. But for me, I think Ezebrume, despite the ups and downs we've seen, I think she still has what it takes, to put up a nice performance in this edition of the World Athletics Championship.
Ezebrume, Nigeria's better hopeful at the forthcoming World Athletics Championship. She won Nigeria's only medal, and that was after Blessing Okabare's feat, if you remember, 6 years ago, before 2019. That was Nigeria's first medal and only medal in 6 years, because last we saw was Blessing Okabare winning silver and bronze. But now there's no Blessing Okabare. There's only Ezebrume as the only winner, at the forthcoming World Athletics Championship in the United States of America. Now, other Nigerian hopeful at the event could be Tobia Musa in the 100 meters hurdle event. Tobia Musa so far this season has shown that yes, she can, compete among the world best in the 100 meters hurdle.
Yeah, she has really shown, her prowess this time. We saw her, she's done it in Finland this year, and she also did it in the Benin trial. We saw her fantastic outing as well. We've seen her, in several, events. Even the last event, in Stockholm, talking about the Diamond League in Stockholm, she also came out very, very strongly. So Tobia Musa, take a look at it. I think she looked very favourite. Probably yes, in clinching a good medal for Team Nigeria this time around. And if you take a look at it, she's got no worries. I know that she's been the best of herself. And for me, if you take a look at it, she has what it takes, to clinch the good medal for Team Nigeria when it comes to the others events.
Tobia Musa, Nigeria's hopeful to get the medal at the World Athletics Championship in the 100 meters hurdle event. There is another hopeful in terms of getting medal for Nigeria. She's been going around the world this year, especially in the United States of America, where she's based, doing so well at the junior level, at the under-20 level. And it looks like now she can take it a step higher. Talking about Favour Ofili in the 200 meters event, she looks like looking at giving do I say Favour Sherenka Price some tough run for Harmony?
Yeah, it's going to be a very huge contest, for Favour Ofili, because we'll see her, in a fantastic outing as well this year. Don't forget at some point, she breaks Blessing Okabare's record, and also at some point becoming the fastest woman you talk about down here in Nigeria. So for me, Favour Ofili, she's really been, on her game, and I think with this momentum, with this agility and strength, she can be able to give a prize, another huge task, at this point in time. So it's going to be a huge challenge for her, taking a look at the fact that she'll be competing with those big names and people who are much experienced in the championship like this. But I think taking a look at her doggedness so far this year, she might be able to put up a huge challenge as well.
Favour Ofili, no doubt, able to put up a very strong challenge at the forthcoming World Athletics Championship. It kicks off on Friday, and it promises to be very thrilling because it will be many days, about a week of a strong competition at the world best. Like I mentioned to you, this is the 18th edition of the 39-year-old competition, and the best comes out at the World Athletics Championship. It cannot be any bigger. In fact, the only event bigger than the World Athletics Championship in athletics is the Olympic Games. So this is a very big opportunity for the Nigerian athletes, 24 of them, to egg their names, among stars in the world of athletics. We'll take a break, and when we return from the break here on Atlantic Sports Extraordinary, we look at the Women African Cup of Nations ongoing in Morocco. 2 teams are set to qualify for the FIFA World Cup coming up next year. Who will it be? Will it be Zambia or Senegal, or will it be Morocco or Botswana? 2 of these teams must qualify tonight for that World Cup. When we return for a break, we will let you know how the qualification could be for either of the teams. And don't forget, there is transfer market, and there's been a very big player, yes, who has moved all the way to Chelsea. Chelsea's first signing for the season 2022-2023 football season. When we come back from the break, we'll let you know his name and how this has happened. Stay with us.
And just have fun at football management.
Back, Sports Extraordinary here on Atlantic Television Network, and Kingsley Manuel together with me. We are giving you the very best around the world of sports. Let's get to football proper now, and the African Women Cup of Nations ongoing in Morocco is taking center stage in football across the continent of Africa, because 4 teams will have to qualify for the World Cup coming up in next year for females. And one of the quarterfinal fixtures for today will determine the team. In fact, the 2 quarterfinal fixtures today will determine 2 teams that will qualify. There will be another 2 quarterfinal matches tomorrow that will determine another 2 that will qualify. 4 teams will go straight to represent Africa at the World Cup. But first, let's start with the match that's coming up any moment from now. Zambia versus Senegal. Kingsley, Zambia is at this Cup of Nations without their star player Banda. You remember she's been accused of having a higher level of testosterone. She and 3 other players are out of the Zambian side because of high testosterone level. They come up against Senegal, who have won their very first game at the Cup of Nations and so far this year, and been hit by COVID-19. So it looks like 2 teams that have one issue or the other. Zambia with issue of high testosterone, Senegal with COVID-19 attack.
Yes, I think it's going to be another tight encounter. We're expecting as well this evening in the Women African Cup of Nations. I've really been impressed, with the run of Senegal. This edition of the Women African Cup of Nations, coming down. This edition is when they got their first win in the Women African Cup of Nations, and that's really speaking of volume for them. I think that's really also give them that huge level of confidence in getting down to the quarterfinals of the African Women Cup of Nations. We never thought, Senegal were going to get down to this stage of the competition, but gradually we saw them coming up with those impressive results. Zambia, yes, we saw their first game, against Cameroon. I think they played at a goalless draw. We saw how dogged, despite the fact that yes, their star player, wasn't there. So both teams have been very impressive, prior to the quarterfinal stage of the competition. Despite the fact that COVID-19 has really hit the Senegalese side, but I think they still stand a chance of putting up a clean match tonight. But you take a look at it, I think the best team might, be the winner tonight. Zambia
up against Senegal. Zambia hit by disqualification. 3 of their players have been disqualified because of high testosterone level, which is not permitted by the Confederation of African Football. And Senegal has 2 or 3 attacks of COVID-19 in the squad. But let's see, one of them will have to qualify for the World Cup coming up next year, FIFA World Cup for female. Let's look at the other second fixture, Morocco versus Botswana, Morocco so far in this competition in all their group games won. They are undefeated, while Botswana won only one game and lost two, but they were lucky to qualify because of number of goals they scored to this quarter-final stage. Morocco and Botswana. Can Morocco be the very first North African side to qualify for the Female World Cup?
I think they look very favourite, for that. Take a look at the group stage. They never lost any game. They were in a very fine fashion, getting down to the stage of the competition. Botswana in the group of the Super Falcons of Nigeria didn't really do very well. You could talk about they were only able to win the game against Burundi, which they did in a very high margin. So that game ended 4-2, but they didn't qualify. As first or second in that group. They came as a third place team. In that particular group where we saw the Super Falcons of Nigeria. So for me, I think Morocco, taking a look at what they've done this time around in the group stage, they won the 3 games in the group stage, qualifying comfortably. I think they stand a better chance than Botswana in today's encounter.
Morocco stand a better chance against, they are undefeated, they won all the 3 games, and they are up against a side that won only 1 out of 2 games, which is Botswana. Botswana, one of the teams that is learning the ropes at the African Cup of Nations. But I think we might just be seeing the first North African side qualify for the FIFA World Cup in the history of female World Cup. Tomorrow there will be a match between Nigeria and Cameroon, and Nigeria or Cameroon. Will it be Nigeria will qualify for the World Cup? Nigeria have always been at every edition of the FIFA World Cup, but Cameroon seem to be a very strong side of recent. Then same tomorrow, South Africa will take on Tunisia in yet another very tight fixture, difficult to predict. And we seem to be running out of time now, so we have to quickly look at some development coming in from Europe, and that could be our sports extraordinary for this evening. Talking about Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling has moved from Manchester City to Chelsea in a fee reported to be around £50 million sterling. Raheem Sterling, no doubt, this is a man who is 27 years of age. He has played for about 7 years or so in Manchester City. 7 seasons in Manchester City, 11 goals, 11 trophies in the process.
Yeah, 11 trophies in the process, after taking up 337 appearances and also scoring, I think, 431 goals, for City. You talk about. I think that man has really put himself, on that limelight, and I think he looked very favourite this time around, for Coach Thomas Tuchel to also utilize him in the front line. He's very fantastic, when it comes to getting the goals as well as the dribbles. So for me, he's done a whole lot for City. 11 trophies. I think he's really put up a very huge one for himself. Good one for Sterling, and I hope to see him doing very well at Chelsea Football Club.
Raheem Sterling, our sports extraordinary for this evening. He's played 77 times for England, and of course, like you mentioned, there are 131 goals in 339 games, and I think that's a very good record. You'll be going to Chelsea for another 5 years, and that means that's a long deal. He has an option of even extending after the 5 years, but £50 million, Chelsea's first signing this season, and I think Boli now has something to say, because this is a very big signing for Chelsea. And that will be it for this edition of Sports Extraordinary. We'll definitely return back bright and early tomorrow, but don't forget if you're on Twitter, we can still continue to interact at Atlantic TV Net, but if you're on Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, will be a point of interaction. Until you come your way again, remember, peace and unity are clearly pathways to progress. Stay here on Atlantic Television Network.